Okay, thank you. Good morning. About Apricot, I'm just going very quick toward the first slide because it's a kind of background that we already have shown during the last meetings. On Apricot, there are several units other than UMIL, the INRAE from France, IBP GR from Greece, l'Université Menturi Constantin in Algeria, and Çukurova University from Turkey. Here is some data on the spread of the main producing country, with Turkey leading the production. But as we know, most of the production in Turkey is devoted to processing, particularly drying, and then Uzbekistan and Iran before we go to the Mediterranean Basin. About the challenges that are affecting Apricot, in particularly the chilling hours that are linked, of course, to the blooming and susceptibility to late frost damages. And that is one of the priority traits in apricot cultivation. So working for the breeding objectives, particularly toward late blooming, to increase the yield reliability in cultivation. For a long time, the variability in chilling and heat requirement has been a goal from many research institutions. And I'm also recalling that about the disease, the most challenging are one fungi, Monilia, particularly on bloom during the blooming time. Is a lesser problem on fruit. A bacteria is Xanthomonas, and then the plumpox virus on fruit and trees. Here is a list of the main ongoing breeding program that now are most located in Europe, since the United States and Canada has almost dropped all the historical breeding program in California and in British Columbia. So now most of the breeding has been done in Europe, in the Mediterranean Basin. So let us jump on the activities in our project. I'm starting from what they are doing in France at the 2 units over in INRAE. They've been doing a very good job on importing a lot of material from Central Asia, where the most of the original, let's say, material, genetic material is still located, it can still be found. They imported a lot of wild apricots, and I'm working on genome assemblies of this material, comparing it with what we had in the Mediterranean area. And they were able to resequencing around 900 Armenian genomes with a vast amount of SNPs and other genetic polymorphism for working toward the GWAS. They imported also other related species to Armeniaca, like Sibirica and Manchurica. They are locally in Asia, in particular in China, used as rootstock, not as sign varieties. And they published a very interesting paper on the reconstruction of the journey of the apricot from the place of origin toward the Mediterranean Basin. It's a very interesting paper. That is, as I said, it has been possible by working on these accessions that were imported in France, and that among the most interesting results they have found so far is that looking for shark resistance, that is still one of the major challenges for apricot cultivation. They were able to score. Okay, sorry. They were able to score all this material for the PPV resistant, and we'll see later on a very, very interesting result. Similar work of genetic characterization is done in other units. So in Greece, for the genotyping of their local varieties. Similar work on in Algeria, working on a very interesting material spread in the oasis in a desertic area. So is a particularly interesting material for the low chilling requirements of commercial cultivars. Here is just an insight from the methodology for working on genotyping of the material in Algeria, and then in Çukurova University in Turkey. Also, they are working on their material that is particularly interesting for not only for low chilling, but also for other traits related to environmental adaptability. We are doing also in Milano some genomic characterization, and here is one of the outcomes of our work, where in our collection we have a kind of three main group genetically identified. One is from the European, let's say, Mediterranean group that is depicted in green on the bottom, and the other in pink is the North American group, North American derived group that have been extensively used for bringing the shark resistance in our breeding stock. But most of the commercial cultivars are in the admitted group of genetically identified. Of course, there is a lot of phenological and morphological work that is in parallel with the genomic identification, genomic characterization, that is being done in all the working units. I'm just reporting here one slide from the work they've been doing in Constantine. And I want to stress a little bit more on the multi-site collection we have been building. We were very lucky because a kind of background work has been done already in France by Jean-Marc Dergon and his team. So we were able to bring in Italy most of his core collection that has already been characterized genotypically, and some of the local accession from Greece. And we are waiting for the local accession for Algeria. Hopefully in the next weeks we will be able to get the plastic from Algeria that will be grafted, and our idea is to multiply all the trees needed for the three fields, Algeria, Italy, Greece, and coupled with the already established collection in France, Altogether will be available 4 places where to run the to collect the data in the next years. The statistical design of the orchard has already been studied, and so we are ready for planting. Of course, that will be done after the end of the project, but since this goal, as Albini have been already explained to the Prima Secretariat, and I know they are very well interested in this outcome of the project. They are in favor of and they are looking forward to even if the result will come out after the finishing of the project, that has not been a problem for them. So I'm still in favor of pushing on the realization of this multi-site collection. I know some of the members, even I've got a message even yesterday from Alpha, from Tunisia. She is worried because she said, well, we cannot accomplish the plantation of the, in her case, of the olive multi-site, because it will be finished after the field camp is ended. But as I said, that is not really a problem. So if Alpha, I don't know if Alpha is listening to us, I would say, Alpha, don't be worried. If you are available, we are still in favor or finishing the job even after free climb is ended. I have another note I forgot to tell you yesterday about the problem related to introducing material in European Union outside the boundaries. In Italy, we have a larger organization that are very well skilled on fruit tree certification, plant production, and they are doing a very interesting work. They are building agreement with the health, sanitary, phytosanitary authorities in several countries. And recently, they signed an agreement with New Zealand. That means that nowadays, if we want export genetic material, fruit tree material to New Zealand, we can overcome the quarantine of New Zealand going through the service of this nursery organization. And possibly, I think that could be also a tool, a possibility for our multi-site collection. If we have a problem in overcoming the problem related to import or export of genetic material, maybe we can ask them to help us in avoiding this problem. So it's just a note I put today. There are many more activities we are doing on Apricot about reproductive phenology, biotic stress resistant, and abiotic stress resistant that I am listing now. This is some result of the data collected in Greece about the chilling and requirement on their material. And same work has been done in our station in Milano. And here is what they are doing in Constantine in Algeria. And all the different 3 lines are related to the different method to calculate the chilling in Apricot. As you can see, there are sometimes the results are different depending on the method of calculation of the requirements, and they're already listed some of their local material according to the chill requirement. That is very useful for adaptation and for the breeding work, of course. Also in the same work on chilling requirement has been done in France, in Bordeaux. That is toward the tolerance to spring frost, to bud breaking, and of course to flowering. Still, about what they are doing in Bordeaux, they were able, that is a very, very good news, that it has been sought for many years, of the second locus that is responsible for assuring resistant to plant pox, that is depicted on the linkage group 1. That is a really very good news for the apricot, for people working on apricot, particularly for the breeders, of course, and they are also were able, working on their material imported from Central Asia, to find also resistant against short haul disease. That is a minor disease, but sometimes could be very very important, depending on the places, and working on pyramiding this resistant together with shark resistance. Another very interesting goal they obtained later was in previous work was the genetic basis for resistant to bacterial cankers that is spreading in many apricot cultivation area, and they found markers that can be used in marker-assisted selection procedure. And one more finding about their genomic work about the QTLs they've been found on the bud breaking trait. That is, of course, a very interesting trait for being able to measure the adaptability of the given accession to the environment. And one more trait was the absence of juvenility. That, of course, is a trait that may affect for speeding up the breeding work. Lowering the juvenility period, of course, it speeds up the time devoted to finding new, selecting in the breeding progenies. Also, this one. Very interesting work they are doing in Çukurova in Turkey about the abiotic resistant to two particularly interesting traits that are the tolerance to drought and the tolerance to iron chlorosis. Of course, those two traits could be important from one side for the cyan cultivar, from the other side for new rootstock. One interesting trait we have been working on in Milano is the fruit maturity date, and we have now markers that can be used for potentially used for marker-assisted selection in order to identify in breeding progenies the ones that could be useful for a given spot on the ripening season. Just a shot on fruit quality evaluation that is in parallel done in all the units, and this picture comes from the Constantine University, but of course this work has been done in all the other units. And this one picture from the work on fruit quality, inner quality, that has been done in Greece for many of the nutritional important quality traits related to phenols or carotenoids and other important nutritional interesting traits. So I'm at the end of the presentation. If there are questions for your side. Yes, no comment. Okay.
Just I would like to add that when we talk about chilling requirements, we should always add the heating requirements as a parameter more important in avoiding frost damages.
You are right. I didn't mention it. As a matter of fact, the scientists have been working on this, let's say, couple of traits, chilling and heat requirements. And at the beginning, we were thinking that they were well separated, but so far it seems is not really like that. So it's in some ways it's true that we can work on low chilling, coupling the low chilling at high, let's say, chilling requirement and a higher heat requirement. But so far the situation is not so clear. So it's not easy to breed for exactly taking separated the two traits, the chilling and the heat. So that is true that we need new cultivars with a high heat requirements, but it's not so easy to separate to the high chilling requirement. Am I clear?
Yes.
Veronique, please go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to comment about that because in the material that we introduced from Central Asia and China, we have material for which there is no heat requirement. And some other material also, there is no chill requirement because, well, this is one slide that I proposed in the work package 1 phenotyping data, but yesterday it was not possible to show them. So this is unfortunate because in this slide I showed that some material are completely independent of chilling and or heat requirement. And so maybe this kind of material could be interesting to use when we study this kind of trait, because it's true that it's difficult to disentangle those two parameters, heat and chill. And so maybe we should think about using one of the parents like the one we have here in Bordeaux that are completely insensitive to chill and heat, and then cross those with other cultivars that have heat or chill requirements. That could be one solution to be able to distinguish the effect of the two parameters.
Thank you, Vero. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
No, there is no other question.